Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey, it's working. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noel Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week is Mr. Pedro Adabot.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Pedro, creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printing projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is a show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspiration projects, but not just 3D printing. We also do CNC milling and some clay and stuff.
Clay, PCBs.
Let's start off the show with today's coupon code is BOOK. Super simple, 4-letter word, BOOK, all lowercase. So if you want to pick up anything in the Adafruit shop, you can use the coupon code BOOK and get 10% off. This works on everything in the shop except subscriptions like Adabox and gift certificates.
That's correct.
So that's nice. You can get 10% off those printers. Very nice. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. Thank you so much for joining us. So good to be here with you. Better do the shouts.
Shout out everybody out in the YouTube and the Discord chat room. We got Stuff Kirby hanging out. Mattable Arduino, Arduan, Kevin Clark, Jim, and
Jim's
switching over to the
hello
Discord over here. We got Dan Mitchell hanging out.
Hey, we're in the Discord chat room, aren't we?
And Silly Russell, Salji Russell. Sorry.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. We're in the Discord chat room.
Thank you all for joining every morning.
So if you want to join us after the show, we are in Discord all the time. So you can check out discord.gg/Adafruit. That's the link. We're in there all the time. Let's run through some show note stuff, some housekeeping. So we do have some free deals going on. If you go to adafruit.com/free, you can see all the deals that are going on. For orders of $99 or more, you can get a free Perma Proto, really nice breadboard. And then for $199 or more, you can get the Circuit Playground Express, while supplies last, of course. And for orders over $200 or more, you can get free shipping, US continental only, of course. So check out adafruit.com/free for those. You can also use the coupon code that we talked about.
I want to remind people, too, that we have distributors all over the globe. So if you're another part of the world, definitely check out adafruit.com/distributors. Check out your local distributors. Save on that shipping.
I am trying. I'm trying very hard to find the distributors link. There it is. It's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yay.
The number one asked question every day.
DigiKey, there's a map. So in your part of the continent, just pick it. It's
everywhere.
Everywhere. So you're in Europe. And there's all the lovely people that stock our stuff. Thank you so much. So check it out. Oh my gosh, there's even more people. Look at this. There's so many people. It's just Europe. All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, good stuff. All right, let's, same-day delivery is also an option if you live in New York City and you want your stuff like right away. You can do the same-day delivery option. Yeehaw. CircuitPython meeting happens every Monday. It happened this Monday. Everybody's back from Maker Faire and they're away again at Open Summit. Open Hardware Summit is going on, so that's where the CircuitPython team is. But they did do the meeting at Adafruit HQ, which is really fun, so check that out. Get all the happenings. CircuitPython
4.0 Alpha is released, so
4.0.
definitely check that out.
Yeah, check it out. We have some Bluetooth NRF52 support coming. Very, very exciting. Daily Dose of Adafruit can be subscribed to if you head on over to adafruitdaily.com. You can see all the different categories that we have. These are newsletters, little daily sort of digest type stuff. Once a week, we do the Adafruit newsletter. This is product focused. If you watch Ask an Engineer, at the end of the show, they kind of recap all the products, and that normally gets turned into text and photos for those who want more sort of accessibility to read it and stuff.
As well as all the tutorials that go along with that, because hey, what good is a product if you don't know how to use it?
Yeah, all the learning
guides. Check out all of the 3D files, the CAD files, if you want to build on top of it.
Cool. All right, this week's project is the book. Let's take a look at book on the overhead.
Super cool project this week. So, I did not make this. I didn't
either.
My wife made this all herself. Just went off, and she's been wanting to make this for about, I don't know, 4 years. Ever since that Phil B first came out with that Raspberry Pi powered iProject.
It was first with the Teensy and then the Raspberry Pi. Now it's standalone as its own product. So let's take a look inside. So on the outside, obviously, it's all detailed and stuff. On the inside, we got some nice kind of pages from. So what is this book from? What movie is this from?
So this is from the cult classic Hocus Pocus. Of course, comes on every Halloween season. It is on repeat in this household.
The 5-year-old loves it.
Yeah, 5-year-old loves it. So just keep that playing. And of course, the all brand new Hallowing is the main star attraction for this project. Super easy to use. All you do is literally turn it on and bam, you get super awesome, silky smooth eye animation code going on there.
Yeah, this is a really neat product because it just comes pre-programmed as is. It's a M0 based microcontroller, so yeah, it is a
not
feather.
really a wing. We just wanted to play off that name,
right? But
so
it has a bunch of stuff on it.
Fully featured feather M0 on here.
Yeah. So right now, let's go ahead and refresh. So it says 68 in stock. I'm gonna refresh. Okay, it's still in stock. So if you want to pick this up now, you can do so and get 10% off using the book coupon code. So be sure to do that. We have some accessories to go with it. The 350 milliamp battery is a really nice one.
We are having a 400 milliamp hour coming out soon, but all of the AdaBox subscribers got all those.
Yeah, they got a hell of those. So that fits right in between those two headers in the back here. In the back, we have lots of inputs for NeoPixel, sensors, I2C, and also, of course, the feather headers, so you can plug in different wings in it. Did I mention it has an accelerometer and all this stuff here?
That
so
is a lot of jam-packed
built-in
features.
USB charging for your LiPo battery if you need to charge it. All the nice things that you kind of come to know and love of the Feather M0 based microcontrollers. NeoPixel on board, capacitive touch pins, really, really nice. The latest version, kind of Rev B, I want to call it, has this lovely silk screen profile B that has sort of this halftone pattern going on, which is really nice. So if you head on over to the Learn Guide for just this, well, let's go ahead and jump into our Learn Guide as we link to it. So the first page kind of walks you through the project and the things that we use in it. Very, very simple,
easy,
just 3 things. You might not even need the lens. This is actually the new lens that we have in stock right now. It is a plastic version of the convex plastic lens. It was glass. The first ones we carried were glass. Now this one's plastic. It's a couple bucks cheaper as well, and it won't break and shatter if you drop it, so that's kind of nice. So I thought I'd replace that product linked in here, so that's nice. Some prerequisite guides. We definitely recommend checking out the Hallowing guide over here, as it has really, really nice things. So when you have it in CircuitPython mode, that means you plug it into your computer with a USB cable, data USB cable, and then you can just drag and drop a UF2 file into that CircuitPython boot drive. It shows up as a USB drive. You drop in this file and you get a brand new set of code. So it's all prepackaged for you, so you can kind of pick from any of these sort of different eyes. So Philby kind of pre-packaged these for you guys. So we have the human eye, which is what comes default. We also have a dragon eye, which has more of like a kind of a slithery, a slit type of eye effect.
Yes.
More of like this not animal-ish type eye is what we have, where it doesn't have the white. It's just more like kind of dark. And then we also have the eye of Newt. And if you saw last week's project video, that shows all of them.
There is a ton of projects you can do with this, like 3D Maze, of course, use it as a image badge for conferences.
Yeah, that just came out live, was it? Yeah, I think
last week.
Came out last week.
There is a ton that you can do.
Yeah.
And what's super cool about this is you literally just drag UF2 file right on there. You don't have to go into Arduino. You don't have to like set up an IDE.
So what this is really good is that somebody like Brandy's friends
can
literally get this board and put this project together. So it's really nice. You don't have to program anything. It just turn it on. You don't even have to plug it in the computer because it just comes pre-baked, which is great.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's awesome. If you are advanced and you want to customize the eye, you totally can do so. Philby has a guide that breaks down exactly how to do it, how to convert the graphics over, how to use 2 of them as well.
How to make your own graphics for it.
How to manually puppet it. This thing is super advanced, so check it out if you are so inclined to do so. Everything is documented here for you, which is really nice. Check it out. So going back over to the guide, this guide here. There are some other parts that we thought we'd list
specifically for this project. I do list those all there. Yeah. Linked. One of the things you're going to need is a 1/3/8 spade bit to drill into the cover, so you can fit the lens right in there, as well as some dry clay to do all of the details like the snakes, the lock, all of that is held together with Mod Podge. A nice little layer of that to create all the skin textures and all that. Some burlap 5mm diameter twine is what's doing all the stitching here. And some silver paint coats for all the detail on here, as well as a cool little chipboard that's being used for the eyelids. If we go ahead and look inside of this guy, being
Velcro.
held together with Velcro. And then here is the lens for that. You can definitely see the difference that creates. A nice little bulge effect on there.
Yeah, the only thing that we kind of, or at least Brandy had to modify on it was paint the outer bezel a little bit because it kind of leaks a little bit of the light.
Once you have the light or the lens on there, you are going to see the white framed outline for the display.
So she painted it this kind of tan color to kind of mask it a little bit better.
Yeah, and here you can see the differences between the
silk screen.
screens.
Yeah, the first board house was like, no, we can't do that. I'm like, okay, we're gonna go with another one. We're gonna make like 10,000 of these.
Yeah.
So it looks really nice.
You have one thing we haven't mentioned too. One of the cool things is the light sensor here is connected to the way that the pupils dilate.
Yeah, you can get really small if you shine light into it too.
Yeah.
And that's all customizable too if you want to modify the code.
Turn that off, or you can change what the values are for the amount of lights coming in.
Right.
Cool. So yeah, Velcro to hold that together.
Also Velcro. It's all listed here. Alrighty, let's jump into the circuit diagram. Really easy. You just plug in the battery into the little JST connector port.
You may have to do some modifications. Just want to show the back of this in terms of the way that you want to coil your battery. Simple little coil like that. Or you can, if you're brave enough, just chop it to size. It's definitely going to help out in fitting in between the two what they call the header sockets. You can just fit that in between there, and the 400 milliamp hour battery should fit perfectly between those, even if you're stacking another board on top.
Sweet.
Really cool for that. And one of the cool things about this is that because we didn't do this with a Pi version or anything that's bigger, you don't have to use as much of the book. So it's about 1.5 millimeters thick, including the cover here, so that you can have spells and still have it as a cookbook.
Yeah, that's really what it is. So you want to find a book that's the right size and the right thickness of it.
So of course you know that this is going to go right to the kitchen.
Oh yeah, right.
Keep forever because it is a functional book.
Very sweet. Okay, back over to the Learn Guide. See, there it is. That's pretty much it for the circuit diagram. Not much really going on here. There's nothing to put together to connect the battery. We do recommend using the batteries that we stock as they are the right voltage.
Yep, so 350s, 400s, or the 500 milliamp hour batteries should work perfect for that.
Okay. On to the Spooky Eye code. So the Spooky Eye code is a mirror of the Adafruit Hallowing guide. So this is where you're going to get the UF2 file. And that's pretty nice. It tells you how to load the bootloader in. So once you plug in the micro USB cable into the board, you just want to hit that reset button twice. You'll get a green OK indicator on that NeoPixel that's built in. And then you will have a USB drive called Hollow Boot. And that is where you can drop the UF2 file. Alrighty, back over to the guide over here. Let's talk about the assembly. So the book that we got, I think she got it from what, like Goodwill or thrift store of some sorts. It has a glossy finish to it, so what she did was she thought it'd be a really good idea to kind of sand away all that glossy stuff so that the paint would stick a little bit better.
Exactly.
So that's what she did.
So we started off, she started, every time I say we, remember we did not do this, it was all Brandy, so Brandy started off with a 220 grit sandpaper, lightly sand all of the, like the glossy finish off the covers, and then used a light coat of brown acrylic paint to cover that, nice little base of that, and then used the dry brushing method to add textures to that, and some, I think it was paper towels that that she used as well to create those, and just let that dry. Used air dry clay.
Yeah, so how did she make all these little snakes and stuff? She just hand molded it with this air dry clay. So you don't have to bake it or anything like that. It just dries in the air, right? It's from Crayola, but there's probably some other brands out there that make it. But I imagine she just kind of rolled it out and then just kind of coiled it up.
Yeah,
she's using one of those.
Kind of seen in the time lapse.
This is a weeding tool that we use for weeding vinyl cut decals. So you just reuse that tool to kind of create some texture and sculpt a little bit in there. If you want to see a photo really big, you can always right-click on it or click on it. And you can see it in this full glory here, where it's like
pretty giant,
Yeah, so you can see she kind of poked all these little holes and stuff. There are proper sculpting tools. It's pretty much the same thing, right? Yeah. I don't know. You've done sculpting in college, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty similar,
right?
Pretty similar.
Okay, cool. So that's what she did. So obviously you want to reference the thing you're making. So I'm sure she referenced, there's plenty of images
Tons
online.
of reference images, yeah.
And there's some instructables as well as how to do it too.
Yeah,
so
there
it's
is.
really nice.
Yeah.
Now the hardest thing was kind of, I would say it would be cutting the hole. We didn't have the right bit size. We thought we did. 1 inch just wasn't big enough. So she went and got herself the 1 3/8 inch spade bit to drill out that hole. So where position? She just kind of guessed. Just where?
She drew a lot on there. She,
drew
had a
on
nice
it?
little reference for that. Drew that.
Yeah.
Drilled it
Or
out.
You could just kind of eyeball it.
Pun
So she did
intended
that.
for that.
You definitely want to do it over some sort of surface you can clean up. You don't want to drill into your desk. You didn't drill too deep in.
One thing we didn't mention is the paper that's being laid down. It's just parchment paper.
Is it parchment? Okay.
Yeah.
That way it catches some of the dust and stuff.
That for the paint and as well as the clay, so it doesn't stick to the table.
So these are supposed to be like the silver kind of metallic look. So that's why it's coated with this silver paint.
Yep.
So all these, did she just dump it on there? She like painted it with the brush?
She brushed it on there. You can see the brush right there. Again, you can click on the image to see a full size of that, because some of the things do get cropped out because of our the aspect ratio that the learning system is run off of.
Yeah.
It's 4:3.
Yeah, cool. And then she kind of did the same kind of texture here, or
Nice
these little
silver
bits,
texture for that. You can see the skin texture already on there. She is applying the paint.
Mod Podge?
Not yet.
Not yet?
The paint in like a blobby type, like how like wrinkles would be on skin.
Right, because it is supposed to be a skin-bound book.
Yeah.
Like stitched skin. Cool. All right, back over here. Now she.
So we're
part of
not.
that-
She's actually not gluing them here. She's just placing them to make sure that
Okay.
all of the paint is, covers what needs to be when
Right.
you lay the clay mold on top.
This is a bit of like a, let's say like a handcuff.
lock.
I think it's
Yeah.
like a handcuff or maybe a lock that kind of adorns the outside of the eye. So that's really nice. Again, just made with air clay and just kind of poke the holes out with the various tools and stuff. But yeah, all hand clayed.
I also want to point
Nice.
out that this is not exact to, if you actually look for the reference images for book,
Is it
there
different?
are some hands that are on
there's
the
like
side.
fingers and stuff on
There's
the spine.
fingers, yeah. There's
Yeah.
like stuff in the
Yeah,
back.
you can be as detailed as you want. Yeah, but the front really kind of shines nice.
Yeah.
All right, so then there's some more details, like some of the veins and stuff like that, it looks like. So there's some stitching detail here.
This is going to be what you trace over to create the stitches.
Oh, okay.
So you can take a look at that, and then scroll a little bit more. Creating the backing for this, you can use chipboard or cardstock to create the backing for this, so none of the white pages will show through. And then she drew a board outline based on where the hole for the lens was drawn after you cut it out.
Sorry, I'm in the editor mode.
Yeah, some of the layout, a little funky for that.
So she just traced it out and started cutting it out with what,
Yeah.
an X-Acto knife?
Yep, just an X-Acto knife. And of course you can print out a SVG file of the actual board outline to make this a bit more easier if you don't want to actually draw out the board. If you're waiting for yours to arrive, you want to get everything nice and prepped up, you can actually print out an SVG of the board outline, make it a little bit more, say if you have a laser cutter or something, you can create a nice little template for you to cut around.
Yeah.
Then you want to carefully cut away each page of this. Remember, it's about 1.5 millimeters or about 80 pages of that you want to cut down into.
Or deeper if you have a bigger battery. No, you can do that
this
as
is
well.
true.
So it's up to you how deep you want to make it. But the most minimal one is, I guess, 1.5. Okay. All right, so to kind of test fitting it out, making sure the board fits in there, and then it lines up with the actual cover, because the cover has a circle. Yeah. You want to clean up any jagged edges.
Very carefully with a very sharp,
sandpaper or
brand new
something else.
hobby blade
Okay.
to get that achieved. And if you want to add any additional things, like Syl is saying in Discord, adding a speaker to this, because it does support speaker control.
Yes, it does.
You can definitely draw out like one of the medium-sized speakers to fit in there. And that should be a nice, the thickness for that should work with the thickness of the Hallowing board as well.
Yeah, and if you're looking for the code for that, John Park set up a pretty good one from last week's, maybe 2 weeks ago, project where he used the milk jug technique to make a skull, and then he added some lights and some sounds as well to it. It's
Or a
pretty nice.
motor or something would be cool to have it like
move around.
So there's tons of more things that you can add to this. There's enough space if you use a book that's big enough to house all those components. You can definitely add those on there. There is code.
The eyelids blinking with the servo or something.
That would be so
Means
cool.
it.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. So back over to the book construction. Mod Podge is the name of the game in this one for kind of making sure.
That is what's creating all the texture for all this, holding everything together. If you scroll down a little bit, you can see that she's Mod Podging the pages, the backing for that. That's going to hold the board in place.
And then some binder clips to hold it down.
Hold it down while it dries. And then
here's the stitches.
Stitches.
So cutting up little pieces of twine and just kind of randomly positioning them there to create those stitching looks, and then Mod Podging over it as well, because it's sticking the first layer and then kind of paint it on top, and it kind of looks like this.
So about 51 stitches, about 20 millimeters long to achieve that. 5 millimeter burlap twine. Looks really good on that. So we're going to draw out our stitch area with the Mod Podge, lay that on top, and then cover everything with the Mod Podge to sort of hold all the fibers in place.
Cute. More Mod Podge. Glue the snakes on. This is once you have a nice coat of Mod Podge, a nice and thick layer, then you can start putting in the adornings. Now this Mod Podge is the matte type, so it'll dry clear.
It'll dry clear,
really what you want.
That's one thing we want to mention too. All this stuff takes about 3 days in terms of allowing paint to dry, allowing the Mod Podge to dry, allowing the clay to dry. So this is a multi-day print.
Multi-day print?
Project.
Multi-day print. Very cool. So on day 3, to create the eyelids, she just kind of cut out her own shapes.
It's about 54
just
millimeter
kept turning them down
diameter.
until it fit. Okay, yeah, the diameters and the numbers are there, so you don't have to do any guesswork like she did. So now it's good. So those are made out of chipboard as well, or cardstock in this case. And then more Mod Podge to kind of glue it in.
Hold it all together.
Yeah, here's what it kind of looks like here. There you go. And she painted them, of course, as well. And to create that curve, you just kind of make it a little bit wider, and then when you bring it together, it kind of curves out for you. A little dome, half dome shape.
I would be closing all those tabs before they become way too much to manage.
Let's see here. Good call. Alrighty, so this
on to the page details.
So she printed these out on a regular 2D printer, on just whatever paper, and then actually painted it. Did she trace it again? Like, what did she do here?
You don't need to. It just depends. We were low on black ink, so she did trace it over again.
Okay, cool. That's what happened. Yes, your printer ink will vary.
And then the same dry brush texture technique as well to make it look like it's aged.
Yeah. Where did you find these pages?
You're gonna have to Google this. We did not
we can't
want
provide
to.
You these are, we can't distribute people's copywritten work. We're not selling this book, so it's good, she can do this.
Yeah.
It's totally in the legal realm.
One of the things that she does mention is using a cardstock or chipboard that's bigger than the page you're going to put on there, so you can get all the edges Mod Podge so nothing curls up.
Yeah. All right, a little bit of bleed on the outer edges there. Good. All right, trimming the cardstock. Hey, we just talked about that.
Yep.
Cool.
And then on to attaching the Velcro or the hook and loop, so you can have those easily accessible if you want to change out the code or recharge the battery.
It just holds everything together as you want it. Cool.
And then one of the last thing is applying that paint texture to the white bezel around the display, so you can get...
I would keep what was the tip? Keep the protective film on it, so that it's sort of masking it, so that when you take it off, none of the paint will be on your display.
Exactly.
Very cool.
And then the final finishing Mod Podge coat. This is where you have to add even more of that wrinkly texture look onto it.
Yep.
And then let it dry.
Yeah. Just kind of watch it on there.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Super easy in terms of building all of the craft parts of this. Definitely makes it a lot more easier when all you have to do is when you get your board, the first thing that you do is just turn it on.
It works.
And it's already on there. You will have this sketch already on there.
Yeah.
It's good to go. Again, you can go all out, add the hand textures on there, and even add the back I forget what's on there. If you look for more references to that, you'll see all the other stuff on there. But of course, the main star of the show is the Hallowing, so focused all on that. Super cool, easy project that any crafty person can do, especially with the ease of use of the Hallowing.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool. All right. So again, let's go ahead and take a look at the shop and see if any of these are sold out yet. Let's go ahead and refresh. 65 in stock. Woo! Thank you guys for purchasing it. Don't forget, if you want to get your Halloween now, get 10% off on that by using coupon code BOOK. Sweet.
Really good idea, Sil, as saying that you can add grunts and noises to the speaker if you attach that. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Definitely tag us in it if anybody decides to make this for Halloween. We are about a month away, so plenty of time to create this. You only need like 3 days to make this.
Yeah.
Super cool. And don't forget, there is a ton of projects you can do with the Hallowing.
That's right, including, let's get to it, right here, right here. If you scroll down, you'll see all the projects that the Hallowing is already using. Most of them are actually from Jump Park and Phil B. Phil B.
You got the Ouija board or spirit board.
You got the
lightsaber.
There's the milk jug skull. So this one does have code that uses the audio amplifier that's built in to make some cool sounds.
Super sweet image viewer that's controlled with your touch, or what is it? The accelerometer that's on there as well.
Using it for prop building, of course, you can use it to create a lightsaber. Jump Park put together this Halloween lightsaber guide. Also, you can use it to make a light paint stick as well. So you can do all sorts of fun stuff. And even Aaron made this mask where it uses different animated GIFs on the display. So you want to display something different, maybe like a fire or a butterfly, you can do so there. Magic 9 Ball is a new guide as well. That happened last week. This is a really cool one that uses the accelerometer to shake. You ask a question just like a Magic 8 Ball, and it will give you sort of a randomized answer, which is really neat. So all sorts of that. If you are a subscriber to AdaBox, you should be getting yours soon, and in it, maybe you'll get a Halloween.
I'm pretty sure you do.
Pretty sure you do. Didn't just spoil it to everybody.
And beyond this, there is some really good accessibility projects too that Bill Binko has been working on for these. Tune into the show and tell. One of the cases that you designed was a clip that goes onto the back of a laptop. So people that have audible issues or can get people's attention or like put down what they're actually trying to say onto the display. And
also a part of that, John Park put together the Badge Image Viewer project. So that is live on the Adafruit Learning System. So you just want to throw an image on there and have it kind of change.
The easiest way to add images to a display like that.
This is great.
Just drag in your BPMs.
Yeah, very nice. So he walks you through the whole process of doing so. Very cool. There's all your images, drag them in. Sweet.
You could drive a solenoid with this, right?
Perhaps.
It is a feather.
Don't quote me on that. If it's a 5 volts solenoid, probably. If not, you can use one of the motor drivers that we have. Maybe the motor wing will help you do that to drive the current a little bit better. All right.
Thomas is saying, yes, badge is perfect. Yeah. If you notice on the left and right side, those two little holes right there, specifically made for attaching slip rings or the badge little hooks.
Yeah, standard lanyard hooks. Sweet. Okie doke. Well, that's the project in a nutshell, and that's the product in a nutshell. We've been using it in so many different projects. I think this is going to get a lot of use for many months to come.
So much more that we have a new form factor that's coming out soon. Stay tuned to Ask an Engineer tonight. Lamar might show it off.
Yeah, I hope so. Great.
Lots of cool stuff coming up.
All right.
Jumping into
this week's project. It is 11:30. Let's quickly run through some other things that we have. I'm going to do a little bit of layer by layer real quick. Just kind of, if you guys are looking for, oh boy, what happened here? Something happened there. I have no idea what happened there. Did you see that?
Yeah, just leave it alone.
All right. It's a, that's odd. Yes. If I reload this will break, won't it?
Probably.
Oh, Facebook, I hate you so much. I think I have no idea how to stop the live stream now for Facebook. This is why live streams are very hard. Anyway, let's go ahead and go over to GitHub, and we can see all the awesome CAD designs that are up there. This week we did the Hallowing. It's up there, so if you want an STL or a step file of the Hallowing as a 3D model for your projects, you can do so. You can import it into Tinkercad, you can import it into SolidWorks, or what is the other one? People like Google SketchUp. All those are supported. Really works really well with step files and STL files as well. So we got that up there. We also did some updates to some other things like a battery. One of the three AAA battery things were updated so it is more accurate. And shout out to a couple folks that are actually doing some pull requests. Shout out to Jesse Friedman, who is contributing some parts. I got to go work through these and actually merge those in. I haven't really done it much yet. It's kind of new to GitHub, but we'll figure it out as we get there. So I got some good vibes there. Some issues as well. So if you guys have any parts that you'd like modeled, you can throw them up here as a request. We have a couple here, so I got to work through this as well. But for now, we do have some new parts up here. I wish you could sort this where it said the latest stuff. That would be really cool. I guess you'd click on commits. I'm very new to GitHub if you haven't known. Oh, also the Adafruit Trellis is up there. So the Adafruit Trellis is this. How do you change 5? Boy. There is a, here it is. I'm starting to add screenshots. Why doesn't it show the screenshot? Oh boy. I don't know how to use GitHub. NeoTrellis, here it is. So if you go to NeoTrellis, I'm starting to add GIFs of it so you can see that there's a 3D model of the trellis. So if you want to use this in your projects, you can do so. So let's go ahead and segue onto this week's sort of what are you prototyping projects. So over the overhead, Pedro, here's the trellis. Go ahead and open that. And I wish it was in stock, but everybody bought it, so thank you for buying it. But the Adafruit Trellis is a 4x4 keypad that looks like this. It features the NeoPixel, so it's an RGB keypad. It also has these capacitive, not really capacitive, yeah, they use elastomers, these little rubber pads and stuff. On the back here we have, go closer. Yeah, on the back here we have a stemma connector, which is really just a JST connector that has 4 pins, but you could also use an interrupt pin on the side there. Just pick the left one.
Oh, is your focus on manual?
It shouldn't be, no. It is on auto. You want me to just manually focus it?
Yeah.
There you go. So that's what it looks like in the back there. You have some I2C addresses, so if you want to tile this, you can tile this up to 32, I believe, which is insane. So it's pretty crazy. It's using the Adafruit Seesaw chipset, or really kind of framework. Is that what you call it? Maybe you call it. But that's the board itself. So we put together a little 3D printed box to house the NeoPixel trellis and a feather, as well as a 3 AA battery pack. So this was printed in 3 parts. They all snap fit together, so there's no visible screws. On the back there, you can turn it on. So that is a 3X AA battery pack.
Huge
shout out to Kirby.
Shout out to Kirby.
Yeah, for coming up with this sort of a random. He created it so that he modified the code so that you can have different random colors. So when you press the buttons, they have different colors. So that's really nice. He's working on sort of a Simon game, or maybe lights off, one of those type of things. So check it out on Instagram. He's been posting progress of it. Let's see if I can get this a little bit lower. Yeah, the colors come out really, really nice and vivid. It's really bright.
So good in person.
Yeah, that's kind of how it looks like. You have to really turn it all down. There's a little bit of refresh right there, but they're really bright. So you can check it out. So if you go over to, you go over here on the product page, you can get the Learn Guide is up now, so you can get the Learn Guide and wire this up using CircuitPython. So we have a circuit diagram on how to wire it to the feather, or also the Raspberry Pi, because the Raspberry Pi stands for Python. So there you go. Here's how to wire it to that. Here's how to install all the library dependencies. We're using the Seesaw library, NeoTrellis is its own library, and the bus device library. And then you can also install it with a pip, install sudo pip, and then install the stuff you want with that command if you're using the Raspberry Pi. But it will work with Arduino as well. We have a Arduino library as well, and a bunch of code and stuff, nice code demos. We also have a code demo for connecting multiple NeoTrellis boards together, so shout out to Dean for putting that together. Also, we have some downloads and things of the schematics, so you can make this into whatever you want. It's open source, so check it out.
Different format if you want.
Yeah.
Kirby's saying that you can greatly save on the battery by turning down the values to 25.
Yeah, I need to do that. I haven't done it. Look, it's actually wired into a Gemma.
That's what I wanted to mention.
That's pretty cool.
That's the first thing I saw and
Yeah.
was like, what? That's so cool.
Excellent. Yeah. So again, you can wire as many as you want, so that's cool. So that's a sort of a prototype. We'll see
In
where we go with it.
comparison to the project that you did last time, this is like half the size, is it not?
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller. No visible screws, which I really like.
Yes.
And
So cool.
shout out to Filamentum for creating some really nice filament. We're trying to work with them to get some of this filament in stock. This is Vertigo Galaxy. It's a black PLA-based filament that has sort of in...
it's like gold flakes on
gold
it.
flakes,
That's what we used
glittery
on a bunch of our projects now.
Yeah.
Like the Zelda Saw Blade. Very high quality stuff. I can't believe how good their stuff is.
Right. So, not in stock right now, but if you do want to pick up some other things, use coupon code BOOK. And there you go.
Very awesome.
All right, moving on to the next. What are you prototyping? Ninjaflex Tiara, Pedro. Let me see the Ninjaflex Tiara.
I have done no more work on this. This was supposed to be a segue where we're talking about our Ninjaflex bumpers.
No, it's backwards. Remember, this is prototyping and then ShopTalk.
Oh, okay.
So we're on the right page.
So this is lovely gold that we have in stock for the Tiara, which is going to have just all these gems lit up. I think I showed this off last week. This is all just be connected like that with a nice little diffusion on there.
Yeah.
Do some like painting on there.
This is going to be Brandy's Halloween costume, huh?
Yes, she's going to be Peach.
Excellent. Did you hear that beep, beep, beep? That was our printer telling us it's done. Speaking of which, all of these parts are printed on the FlashForge Inventor. It's not really a budget printer. It's sort of just a really good printer that has a pretty decent price. It's got some great features. It supports Ninjaflex, as we saw, and it is in stock now. And you can get 10% off if you want.
Yep.
If you don't have a printer, you're looking for
free
one,
shipping.
it's pretty neat. Let's take a look at the overhead again. There we go. So tell me about the string.
Yeah, so anybody who's printing Ninjaflex, don't get discouraged. It will look like this when it comes off the bed, a lot of the things, because you do have to turn off retraction if you don't have one of the spring-loaded, it just, sometimes you have to turn it off just to make sure that you can print optimally with it. But it cleans up very nice, so don't get discouraged on that. This is what typically a lot of our Ninjaflex parts look like before cleanup. And I just wanted to leave that so we can have that in the build video. So after you clean these up with just the flush cutters, it looks very good.
Okay, so as far as print settings, probably the main one would be to slow it down. We always recommend 30 millimeters a second. This is not Cheetah, this is Ninjaflex, just the regular.
So it's a lot more elastic.
75A is the shore hardness, I believe. Maybe it's 85, don't quote me on that. But did you turn off retraction in the settings?
Yep.
It sure looks like it. And if you leave it on, what will it do?
It will get clogged, or it will get caught in
Under extruded, maybe?
It'll start to under extrude, but before that, it'll get caught in the
Okay.
right in the gear.
So you tried printing it as fast as just regular PLA settings, and
it
doesn't work,
yep.
right?
Those are
So
one of the first tests that you do.
Okay.
Yeah. So the white one is Cheetah. This printed on the Ultimaker,
Oh,
but because I wanted to use the gold color, we only have the 175 in that color, so switched over to the Inventor for that, and came out a lot more detailed.
Cool.
But that could be because I'm using the Ultimaker's brand of 95, no,
Okay.
95A
All right.
for the.
Yeah, 95, I believe. It's a little bit harder. But
Yeah.
you can paint this, so that was one
You
of the
can definitely
goals,
airbrush these,
it,
yeah.
And the LEDs just kind of fit in there. These are printed in PLA, right? These little jewels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pedro's reading comments, so it's
Yeah. Kirby's talking about the StainSmart TPU. Is working very well for him.
Oh,
Half
sweet.
the price.
Half the price? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. We'll have to check those out, because, they make some great pigments, but...
That's what we were after, the
we're after
pigments
the
for
pigment,
this.
So we don't have to do any post-processing.
Yeah,
As you can
especially
see, there's
with the
flakes already inside
flakes
of it.
in there. It's pretty good. Although I'm still gonna have to do the airbrushing on there just to get that light fluorescent color that I want on
Some
it.
highlights. Okay.
Some nice little highlights on there.
Sweet. I don't have the Thingiverse file, but it is a. Would you remix it or?
This is a remix, yeah. So I will be
Okay.
posting that. I had to do it in Tinkercad, so
Oh, wow.
very easy to modify.
Cool.
For
Yeah. Just a little bit of work to do on it.
yes,
I'm gonna put a gemma in there or something maybe.
that'd be
to,
nice. Yeah, have some like
addressable
Mhm.
LEDs. Each LED might be addressable.
yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that is what we're prototyping. We're going to save the other one for next week then. We are running out of time. And we're going to segue into more Ninjaflex stuff with ShopTalk. I
Yes.
don't care about your new iPhone, but check out my 3D printed case. This thing's pretty nice. Hey, practical 3D printing works really well. If you're a design student and you haven't come up with a project yet, I think designing your own case for your devices is a really good entryway into the world of design and learning a CAD package, whatever it may be. So this is printed in PLA. This is a iPhone X design that Pedro created last year, and it works with the iPhone XS.
Do the manual focus on
Yeah, let's
that,
do
so you
that.
can see the detail on this filamentum
Closer.
star glow.
So it's called a star glow. Is that what it is?
I forget. I gotta grab
Stargazer?
the yeah. It's that new blue color that they have. Looks pretty nice. Looks very similar to what the MakerBot color version of this. Like I don't know,
Nobody
5
remembers
years
that.
ago. I
Nobody
know,
remembers
5
that.
years ago or something
Maker
like that.
Okay. So yeah, so this is a design that Pedro put together. It's editable. So if we go over to the Thingiverse page, you can see that some people have already remixed it for other designs. So there's two versions. There's a Ninjaflex version. It's completely different geometry. And the PLA version is a different piece of geometry too. It's specialized for just printing with PLA. So one of the cool features that it has is that it kind of creates a nice flush backing, right? So
For the
that you
camera
don't have
bump.
this kind of wobbly phone when you put it on a desk. It prevents it from getting scratched and that sort of thing. You could, of course, print it in different material like copolyester or something, or PETG to get a better, stronger print. But one of the cool things I like about it is because it has a flat edge, you can do this right here. You can stand it upright, so it's kind of got a built-in stand because it's got a flat edge on there.
Reminiscent of the iPhone 4 when it had those nice
Okay.
flat edges. You could just stand it up. Remember that cool program too that like it would vibrate the phone, so it would do like a
Yeah.
nice little 360 of it.
Yeah,
I
that was
wonder
cool.
if that would still work with that. It'd be super cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have the PLA version that snaps on like that. You take a look at it. Super simple design. You have cutouts for all of the power buttons, the bottom for the charge port and all that.
Yeah.
Super slim design. Takes about an hour to print.
Okay.
And all the tolerances remain. Apple did move some of the buttons, but because I did make them bigger than they had to be, worked out perfectly for us.
Okay.
Switch over to the Ninjaflex one. Again, this was printed with the Inventor. Take a look at the quality of the protrusion for the buttons for these. This looks excellent.
So
if you
this
look
was
on
printed on the Inventor, yeah?
yeah, if you take a look up
said-
in the
Yeah.
inside, you can see the called
Sort of the grooves, the
nice little groove
Yeah, the overhangs
detail
as
for
well.
that. If we pop this guy
was
off.
it a lot of cleanup or minimal
This
cleanup?
did require cleanup, and I actually want to show you what this looks like.
All
So
right,
if you
we
do
have
print
it on
this,
the bed. Let's
Yeah,
get it
go-
off the
go
bed.
grab it.
I'm gonna grab it. All right. So the Inventor has a removable bed. It's really nice.
all of the detail for all the
This
ports on
took
there.
2 hours and 23 minutes, as it said.
Switch, and here's what I was talking about before with fine detail on the inside. And here's what it looks like coming right off the bed.
Yeah. Not too bad. Just a little bit of cleanup on the inside.
So
the outer
definitely-
edges are pretty clean though.
Yeah, so definitely recommend the flush cutters to remove up close in there. And when I mean up close, I mean like up close. Like go in there like
Yeah, you
that,
can flip it.
like flip it in inside out. You can
Inside
get
out.
all of those little edges like that. One of the cool, wonderful things about Ninjaflex is that you can
Cut it.
cut it, go in there with a hobby
Flex
knife, flex it, get into all the like nice little grooves in there to remove all of the overhangs.
It's
Have a
also
nice
going to
little-
give you some grip, so it's not
Yeah,
so slippery.
Yep.
And of course, it's shock absorbent, so if you drop it, it's going to give you more protection than the
Yep.
PLA version. So very cool.
Ah,
All right. So we do stock some Ninjaflex in the shop. So just search for Ninjaflex. And also, there are some remixes of your design already. Some folks have made it for the XS Max.
This
and
is
you
exactly
can,
why we provide all of the Fusion 360 files or step files, so you can put this into your own CAD program and have, go to town on
add your
all
logo
of that.
to it. This gentleman here made it fully backed and then put sort of a cutout logo in there. It just looks really nice. Sweet. So appreciate those remixes and people posting makes. A lot of folks have seemed to have made it, and it seems to fit. So that's good.
Yay.
Well, one of them
works.
Hopefully it fits everybody's.
Yeah.
No, that's good. All right, so you can get that on Thingiverse. So that is a bit of the shop talk this week. Practical printing.
One of the other practical printing things that still works for this, is the wireless Qi charger project that we did along with this. Yeah, it still works.
What is it?
Place it on,
wireless charger?
it charges.
Okay.
Faster charging rate on the new ones, so you should be able to juice up a lot more faster. That works good, as well as the Series 4 Apple Watch, the little Chargito, which I bring everywhere, just in case it decides to kill itself while it's measuring my heart rate.
All right.
Nice little, simple, easy Chargito. We're still on overhead.
I would like to show people the Learn Guide for it, to not just show that this is something we did. How do you spell it?
Just Apple Watch. Just search Apple.
Okay.
There you
Yeah,
go.
pretty good. So there you go. There's the Chargito portable Apple Watch charger. Pedro calls it a Chargito. What was the other project?
I think you came up with that name.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. I didn't name it that.
This charger, of course, using the power boost and
What's
I think it was a 500 milliamp hour battery as well.
What's the other one? The bigger one?
Bigger one down there, portable Qi charger.
Okay. Yeah, we have quite a few too. Charging stands. So if you're into wireless charging, you want to customize it. We've got lots of different projects for you. Here's the one Pedro's talking about. Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that feature. You can charge a different device at the same time because you do have
using the power boost.
The USB port exposed as well. So if you want to, if you have a device that doesn't have the Qi charging on there, you can do that.
All right.
Of course, Ninjaflex as well for this, or TPU for the bottoms. So you got that nice grippy bottoms for that, so it doesn't slip all over the place. And if I turn it on, boop, there you go.
Okay.
Works. Should work with the X Maxes as well, since I did model this around the plus size. So all of those should align and fit pretty good.
All right, let's go on over to Community Makes. This week we 3D printed something from the community. So this is the Timelapse Tuesday post that went up on Tuesday. This is actually a dual extruded print using Vertigo Galaxy and breakaway material from Ultimaker. So this is printed on the S5 Ultimaker. This is breakaway material used as the supports. And that is some really good material for support material. I think it's one of the best materials for support material. Let's take a look at the actual thing.
So unfortunately I didn't have enough time to actually show this in the video, but you can stick two 10mm LEDs inside here, make it nice little glow on that.
Check out this detail. Phenomenal work by the designer who put this together. We're going to look at his page here in a second after we just absorb
all
the
the crazy detail
yeah,
on
so
that.
Go close. Let's see. Go close.
I want to take a look at the overhangs.
Yeah. There's no flat surface for this to start printing, so you have to print it with a bunch of overhangs.
It's literally just these tips of the teeth that start printing out.
And turn off.
And of course we did that because you get a higher resolution when you're printing it up.
Get closer.
And
it's fixed.
This is
there you go.
A 0.3mm height.
Go closer.
That looks really good, doesn't it?
All right, so this is a 0.3mm height.
With a 0.8mm nozzle.
0.8mm nozzle.
So fat nozzle, fat layer height, and wow.
Great. It also, I think
it's
the
filament.
Yeah.
It is absolutely the filament. Whatever additives are added to this, wow.
The glitter, you think?
There is glitter on there, yeah. It's got that copper flake on there. And check out the tip
That's great.
resolution on that, wow. Of course, that came out so good just because of how far away the tips are. Give it enough time to cool down as it's printing.
All right, let's go to the back.
Take a look at the back. There is just so much detail on there.
You didn't have to design all those details. Right now, we just have two LEDs with these. It's just really quick to put together.
Yeah, just 10mm fit.
Recommend,
press fit perfectly in there. It has a nice tight tolerance on there, so they're not going to slip out.
Yeah. What
This
was
is
the
just
scaling that you?
the scaling is just 0 on here. So
Okay.
this does come fully
up.
cut up. Yeah, you can kind of see where one of those are merged together. Luckily, he does keep the origins the same. So if you take it inside of Cura, you can merge all of them, and all the pieces will go together. I wanted to make a bigger size of this, but I just ran out of time. I had to print it out as quick as I could. This is just the scale at 100%. You can definitely make this bigger. If you go over to the other camera, you can see what it would look like if you did have it big enough to fit your head. This would look so cool.
Take a screenshot.
Asgard.
Yeah. How you do, Asgard? Fulfill the prophecy, baby. Put it in the fire and see this thing melt.
Gotta get some fire.
All right, so let's go to the actual page. Okay, it's on Cults 3D. Shout out to Cults
Yes.
3D.
Simon is saying, yeah, the glitter helps to hide a lot of the imperfections. Yeah, it hides the layer lines, any anything that might have messed with the print. It looks so gorgeous.
Shout out to designer over here. This gentleman over here who put this together. Also has some other cool designs. Uses the handle DURGE990. There's some really cool things here as well. Check out Cults 3D. Give it a browse. It's a really great marketplace if you want to sell your STLs or just get some. It's a free download, by the way, but you can also create some paid STLs as well. So if you're trying to get some.
Look how good it looks, black on black.
Yeah, that's great.
You get the details, you get all the chisels that are on there.
This is a PBA photo background that we use. If you guys want a link to that, let me know. So that's this week's Community Makes. Hope you guys like it.
You can see some of the breakaway material that I didn't get there. Very, very cool for the overhangs and all that. No fusing that happens there.
Yeah, it's quite a bit overhang. So really nice.
Super cool.
And the eye sockets diffuse the LEDs pretty nicely. These are the 10mm LEDs,
fit?
by the way.
I guess if you made this bigger,
Yeah,
you could definitely get those in there.
Yeah, I would do the snake eyes though, the pie.
Yeah.
That'd probably be
Oh,
better.
yeah.
So it's like 2 eyes and sync. 2 eyes in sync. So they press fit in there nicely. Okay.
Yeah, press fit.
Sweet. Nice little Halloween prop.
Just
Probably wire those up with a lipo or something.
Yeah, totally.
More
There's just
consistent.
12mm
Yeah, we got coin
in the back.
cells in the stock. Let's go ahead and take a look at those real quick. Let's see if we can get
Oh, the breakouts,
10mm.
yeah. Definitely do the breakout on
So
the back
if you
there.
search for 10mm, you can get the diffused. They're already diffused, and they're like these nice gumdrop shapes. So you can get those, and then we also have. I would probably recommend a 2032 coin cell battery. So we have a couple of those. You can search that.
We also have breakouts as well, if you want to have a little power button on there.
Never find it. CR. There it is.
There you go.
The one I like the one with the switch. It has
Yeah.
like 4 mounting holes, and it has a built-in switch so you can turn it off and on. And then you have all these nice pins that you can wire into. So a lot of our kind of quick projects that just use LEDs use this guy. Really nice. We also have this in different sizes. So a smaller version, the 12mm coin cell,
20mm as well.
and the 20, which is this one, CR2032. So check those out. 10% off. Coupon code. Look. Very cool. All right, that's pretty much the end of the show. At least this show. Later tonight we have Ask an Engineer. Later tonight we have As Seen on Show and Tell at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you want to share some of your projects or what you're working on, you can do so. Share it with Lamar and Phil, and every participant gets a free vinyl As Seen on Show and Tell sticker, so you can use that. And then shortly after, 1 hour of Lamar and Phil, Ask an Engineer. That happens at 8 p.m. tonight, Eastern Time. We'll learn about all sorts of happenings in the world of open source electronics.
Lots of previews as well, and launches. Really cool video that Colin's been working on.
Oh gosh.
O's for
Do you think he's gonna
Ohm.
play it tonight?
Maybe.
Circuit Playground, the show, the puppet show. We have a new version, new episode coming out.
So good.
Oh, come on. Max per customer 3. So yeah, I mean, again, if you're new to electronics and you're looking for a really cool project, you might want to check one of these out. It's got a lot of built-in sensors and things. So check it out. All right, that's going to be it for the show, guys. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys buying stuff every once in a while. It really helps the team out as we are venture capital free, loan free, bootstrapped. Is that what they say? No.
That's why we can do all these crazy projects.
Puppet shows and print out skulls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else, Pedro?
I think that's it. Don't forget to make a great day, everyone. See you guys later tonight.
Here's a 3D printed fail. Right here. Yeah. It's like a rat nest.
All right.
Yeah. All right.